What's going on, guys? Hope you guys can hear me all right. I'm winterizing my boat today, so I'll let you guys in on this. Let me get the turn. So it is fall now, so you can see leaves here are changing. Got the wind blowing today. Got the horses, got the wind blowing in their mane. Anyway, this is what we're doing today. We are winterizing the boat. So first thing first, let me get up here where you guys can hear me. First thing first, put some stable storage in it. This stuff says it lasts for a couple years, so I put what I had left in there. It tells you how to do it. You fill up this little thing here to 30 milliliters, or you fill it up to 1 ounce, and that will treat 2.5 gallons is what it'll treat when you fill it up to here. So I filled that up. I think this thing holds 25 gallons of fuel, and I think it's pretty well full on fuel. So I ended up putting like 4 of these in there, 4 or 5, hell, I don't remember. But anyway, I put that in there to the best of my knowledge of knowing about how much gas I do have in the boat. So that'll keep your gas good. And so I put that in the fuel, and then I've already taken this has got the Mercruiser 3.0 in it, and I've already taken the breather off. So now I'm letting it run on a hose with the muffs on it. Let it run till it can get up to running temperature, right? You want to get it up to running temperature before you shut it off. Let me get in this boat. I've got the seats out. Everything's kind of a mess here, guys, but that's the way it works whenever you're working on stuff. So you want to get it pretty close to running temperature. It's getting pretty close to there. But once you get it up to running temperature, what we're going to do then is we're going to fog the engine. This is fogging oil from Sta-Bil, and what that does, that lubricates your cylinder walls and your rings and pistons. Just lubricates everything, so that way nothing's stuck come spring whenever you go to fire this boat back up, right? So it's running. We're running pretty close to the temperature here. So what I'm going to do is fog this a little bit, give it about 3 or 4 little squirts. See how the engine wants to die? You just give it a little bit. All right, now on the 4th one, you hit it until the engine dies, okay? You hit it till the engine dies, give it a little extra. Then you can put your breather back on, okay? So we'll get that done. We'll get the breather put back on, then I'll be back. All right, hold on. All right, we're back. We're putting the breather back on. Oh, I already messed it up. You got to put this little safety clamp on. So we're getting the breather put back on. Then I'll show you guys what lines we got to take off in order to, come on, get on there. Come on. I'll show you what lines we got to take off in order to get the RV coolant or RV antifreeze in it, right? So let me get this put back on. Don't want any leaves or debris or anything blowing down on my carburetor, so I want to get that put back on pretty quick after I get this shut off. So it ain't got to be on there super tight, but get it put on there. Come on. There you go. Come on. Helps when you have the right tools. I'm just saying. There we go. That's pretty snug. That'll do. All right, now let me get you guys over here where you guys can see what I got going on. Right here, this line right here has got to come off, and this line's got to come off. Okay. I'm going to do this one first, and then we'll take this one off. All right, this one's got to come off first. This is the one that goes to your engine block. This one here is the one that brings water into your thermostat housing from your lower unit. So this comes from your lower unit, comes up and goes into here, and it goes into your engine, right? So what we got to do is get all the water out of that so it doesn't freeze and bust. Let me get you guys set back up here. where you guys might be able to see what the hell I'm doing. So, all right. Now this is a messy way of doing it. If you have a newer boat, you may not want to do this. Mine is an older boat, and it is what it is. So we'll break out some tools here. It is a 5/16 on that hose clamp. So we will get that taken off there. And we'll go ahead and loosen this one up while we're here. Alright. Want to make sure you get them good and loose so that way you can get these pulled off, because they take heat, so therefore they get stuck on there over time. But they can be kind of a pain in the ass to get on and off. So, and it is hot. The engine's definitely warm, so probably gonna feel some heat here in a moment. But I'm just going to take a screwdriver and kind of break this loose a little bit. There we go. That one's going to come right off. Let's see. This one here is being a booger. There we go. All right, we'll leave that one on for now. All right, we're going to pull this guy off. All right, now see that? Water's coming out of here. You probably can't see it, but there's some water coming out of here now that I have this hose off. Now what I'm going to do, open one of these up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pour this into this engine block hose, the big hose, okay? And as I'm pouring that in there, it's going to start coming out right here. You guys probably can't see it, but it's going to start coming out right here. And whenever it comes out completely pink, see how that's forcing that out? You can see the water coming out. See how it's water? It's going to turn pink in a minute, once I get enough ran through it. And yeah, this is running everywhere, but I got the plug out of the bottom of the boat, and this boat has got a casing underneath, like a drip pan, you know, underneath the engine. So therefore it will all just run out the back of the boat, right? So that is just now starting to run a little pink, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open another one. I usually run 3 through this. 3 is what I run through this. All right, we got another one opened up here. If you run 3 through it, then you know it is definitely all antifreeze. Or if you run 2 through the engine block, then you know your engine block is definitely has nothing in it but antifreeze. Okay. Alright, you can definitely see that that is just as pink coming out as what is going in out of this jug. But I'm going to go ahead and pour it all. Better safe than sorry. I've never had an engine freeze and bust yet. So this is the way I do this motor, and it's never gave me any issues doing it this way. Alright, now we'll put this back on. Put that one back on. We'll get our hose clamp put back on. Let's see, I'll tighten that up here in a moment. No, another thing. Okay, whenever I fog this out, I fog this out with the fogger, right? To kill the engine. Okay, so the engine's dead right now, right? But guess what I didn't do? I didn't turn the damn key off. You have to turn your key off, or you're gonna end up with a dead battery. So my key is off. I'm taking my key out of the boat, throwing it. I got it in the glove box now, so key is out. Battery will be good whenever I go back to it next year. That's one thing you have to remember, because it's so easy to get in, not in a hurry, but you're thinking about what you're doing as you're doing this, right? So as you're going through the process in your mind, once you get this engine shut off, you know, you got to shut your water off. I already shut the water off. Right after I fogged out the engine, I shut the water off to the engine, right? And took the muffs off. Then I filled up this side, now I'm working on this side. But either way, you have these steps you have to go through. Just don't forget to turn your key off, all right? Because if you don't forget to turn your key off, and if you're just leave the key in it or something, you're going to end up with a dead battery, right? So don't want to do that. All right. Now this one is just going to run back through and out the lower unit. That's all this one's going to do, is run out through the back through the lower unit. That's all it'll do, and all it's going to do is make sure there's no water in that lower unit. Like I said, I took the muffs off. I can hear it running out on the ground out there, out of the lower unit. This takes just a little bit longer. It's a smaller hose you got to pour this into. So, sorry guys, it's taking a minute. But I've owned this boat now for about, I don't know, 7 years or so. And I watched, actually I'd never owned an inboard boat, so I didn't know anything about doing a winterizing these. I knew you had to, but I didn't know nothing about it, right? So anyway, I done what everybody else does, right? I watched a YouTube video. So watched the YouTube video, and that's the way this guy always done his boat. He said he lived up in Minnesota. I live in southeastern Missouri. I figured if his boat's never froze doing it this way, I guarantee mine ain't going to either. So anyway, that's it. We're going to put these clamps back on, get them on nice and snug. But it's just something that's got to be done. I got to winterize my camper. I'll probably winterize my camper tomorrow. I may make a video on it too. I don't know. But something's got to be done. If you don't do it, you sure ain't going to have no fun next year. Because everything you got's going to be frozen busted. Frozen busted boats cost a fortune, I'm just saying. Alright, that one's tight. This old cheap Stanley ratchet I got here just ain't the best in the world. Come on. There we go. So that's it, guys. And another thing, one more thing, I'm going to, let me get you over here and I'll show you that again. See right here, that's the one I took off, poured 2 gallons in. This small one I took off, poured 1 gallon in, all right? Another thing that I do is I do not leave the cover over the engine, okay? I leave that cover off. I leave everything off just like you see it. I know it's dirty and it looks like hell right now, but I leave everything off of it so that way mice and rats, you know, don't want to build in there because it's not an actual covered area. So, and I have cats on the farm, so that helps too. But yeah, just leave your covers off, and leave your covers off so that way nothing will be tempted to build a nest in there, right? And one more thing, about once a month, I usually charge the battery every other month during the winter time. So my battery will get a charge 2 times this winter, right? So that way I know it's good for come spring. Got a jet flying over. So I know it's ready come spring. And then another thing, about once a month, I'll come out here to this boat and I'll hit the key and just make the engine turn over a little bit. So all that's doing is moving those pistons to different places, okay? So they're not sitting there for 3 or 4 months on end, you know, in the same position where there could be rust start to form or anything start to form on them to make your motor want to seize up. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, once a month, just turn your key just enough to make the engine turn over, just to make it move, just to move your pistons. That's all you got to do. I do that throughout the winter also. So anyway, guys, this is just it's my video on how I winterize my boat. But That's all right. That's all I got today, guys. We'll get out here. Chandler's Legacy Farm. Chandler's Legacy Farm. If you like what I've been doing, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Always appreciate the thumbs up button, and we will see you.